Okay, so this is going to be a bit of an experiment. Basically, we're going to look at advanced pre-order automation using Zapier. We'll also have a quick look at Shopify Flow and see if we can hook up some Shopify workflows that will create pre-order listings automatically. So I co-run a software product called Pre-Product, and we have some automation out of the box. So it's mostly around out of stock products, and then we can set rules to look at if they have certain tags or if their title contains certain words, and that's great. But I recently had a merchant who wanted to set up an automation for an in-stock product, and that got me thinking that maybe we could use Pre-Products API, Shopify's integration with Zapier, and see how far we can push pre-order automation on Shopify. So what we're aiming to do in this instant is we've got this cargo bike, and we want to have a look at the stock level, monitor the stock level, and every time, well, I should say probably whenever the stock level goes below 100 units, we want to put this product on pre-order and start taking pre-orders for the future, and kind of showing some verbiage around that, saying we're not ready to ship yet, but go through checkout. We'll take your card details and charge you in the future. So I while researching this video, I had a little look at Shopify Flow, which is usually my go-to for this kind of thing. So if you don't know, that's a free Shopify app. I think it's great. Some of Shopify's own apps are kind of more bare bones. They're not like their main platform. Shopify Flow is really great. So basically works through having triggers and then actions. So I've got a trigger here, which in this case is a scheduled workflow. So I guess it's less of a traditional trigger. And then every 5 minutes I can check things. So I could say, like, check if a product has such and such. In our case, check if its inventory is reached 100 yet. This didn't actually work because we can't send requests that easily from Shopify Flow. It's possible, but I thought Zapier might just be the better tool here. So what I've done is I've been through this workflow, and it does work. So I'm going to take you through it from start to finish, and by the end of the video, you'll have learned how to set up automatic pre-orders going by certain rules that you've set in your Zapier workflow. So to start off with, you'll need pre-product, and you'll need to go to the setup screen. So you can just grab pre-product from a Shopify App Store or BigCommerce App Store or wherever you use it. And I'm going to scroll right to the bottom, and we'll need the API access code. You should keep it secret, and I'll be changing this one after the call, but that's the token you'll need to copy. The other thing we need to get up is the API documentation for pre-product, because what we'll be doing is we'll be triggering a request to pre-product under certain product conditions to create a new listing. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's come over to Zapier. So I just created a free account and then plugged in our test Shopify store. I believe some Zaps are premium, so you'll have to pay for them, but it comes with a free trial, so you'll be able to experiment if that works for you. So I'm just going to click New Zap from the main dashboard. And here, very much like Shopify Flow, we've got triggers and actions. So let's click Trigger, and then let's search for Shopify. Click Shopify. Now, let's pause for a second. So you'll see throughout a lot of Shopify ecosystem, all these automations, they'll use something called a Shopify webhook, and that is a little message from Shopify every time something happens. So in our case, we'll be listening for the product update webhook, which fires every time a product updates. Now, this is great because they're very performant, they happen very frequently, they're not as costly as actually requesting information from Shopify. The downside is they have a limited amount of data on their kind of request body. That's fine for us because I know that the product updates webhook, this one here, actually supports inventory, so we'll be able to check it from there. But things like meta fields, which would be really handy, they're not included in Shopify webhooks. So it's really hard to do meta field based automations in Shopify. But anyway, like I said, we don't need that today. So I just clicked choose an event. I'd already set up my Shopify store integration here. You just need to click this widget the first time you go in. I'll click update product. Shop typified, yep, that's the name of test store. Continue. Cool. Test trigger. Nice. And it gives you some examples from the last couple of product changes which have happened. Now we don't want to do an action just yet. First we need to filter the data. So I just clicked this, then it's built-in tools, I believe, then filter. Cool. So first of all, if this product is already on pre-order, we want to just pause the workflow then and there. So every time a listing is created in pre-product, a pre-order tag is automatically added here. And when the listing's finished, it's automatically removed. So I'm going to take advantage of that here and click choose field. And from here, you can see all the data which is involved in that Shopify webhook, which I was just talking about. We want tags, so let's do that. So if the tags contains pre-order, then we will just cancel the automation then and there, and that's what filtering does. Got that right, haven't I? Proceed only when a condition is met. If I've actually already made a mistake, haven't I? Does not contain. So the Shopify product update will come in. At this stage, it'll see, do the tags not contain pre-order? And if so, carry on. We want to add to this and say, is it inventory or stock? So inventory, variance inventory quantity. I think we want total inventory. Yeah, so it's currently 51 on this one. If that is less than or equal to, let's just do less than 100. Okay, so if the tags do not contain pre-order and the inventory is less than 100, proceed. Cool. And we can test it out, and that's worked. Okay, nice. Okay, so we're nearly ready to actually list the product for pre-order. We just need to format the product ID, which has come from Shopify. So this would be the cargo bike ID, but also any product which is updated will go through this filter. So I've just clicked on that action, and then it's built-in tools, and it's formatter, I believe. And then we choose an event type, so it's text. Then configure, and we want to replace. And then we want to just click that plus, and then we want to grab the ID. So Shopify product, that's what we want. And we just want to remove that text at the beginning, so we're just left with a number. So if I do GID colon dash dash Shopify slash product, and then we just won't replace it with anything, so it'll just be removed. So continue. Inputs, old, replace, test step. Yeah, oh no, I think we're trailing a dash, so configure, product, oh yeah, continue, retest step. Okay, great, so we're just left with the ID, the number. Done. So we're finally ready to trigger a request to pre-product and let it know that we want to list the cargo bike on pre-order. So you can get to this API documentation just from the top of preproduct.io, the website. And I want to use this one, create a new listing. So this is the address we need. So I'll copy that. Click action. And I think it's called webhook. Yeah. And then we want to do a post. It's a little blue post there. So that's the type of request. So posts are for creating records as opposed to retrieving them or deleting or updating them. Now we want to paste that URL we had. And you probably guessed, instead of a platform product ID word, we want to actually add the real thing. So text and formatter by Zapier, output, there we go, great. Payload type, JSON, and then we've got our actual data here. So let's pop over back to docs. So here we've got the payment mode, so the kind of pre-order it is. So we've got whether you want to take a deposit, whether you're charging up front. We want to charge 100% later today. So I'm going to click payment mode, copy, and then copy charge later. Cool. And then we also need to set a lead time, which is the kind of estimated shipping day. You can see that's another required field. So lead time, and then let's say 30 days is how long it'll take us to get a new batch of cargo bikes in. Cool. So that all looks good. We don't only really need those two, but you can see there's lots of other options like discount, whether we want to have a statement instead of a countdown and numbers for the shipping time, all that kind of stuff. So that all looks good. The last thing we need to do is go back to pre-product and just go to the bottom of the setup screen and copy the API token. So this will be something you want to keep secret, and I'll be rotating the token. You can see that option there after the video, as this is just something that lets you programmatically interact with your pre-orders, so you don't want that open and available to the internet. So I've copied that. Let's go back to here. You can see we need to include a header of authorization and then a code. So I'm going to paste my token here, and then copy and paste that authorization with a capital A. There. Cool. So we're making a request to correct URL for the products which came in through this flow, which is eligible for pre-order because it's not already on pre-order and it's got less than 100 units of stock. We've then formatted the ID of the product so we can include it properly here, and we've decided that it's going to be a charge later pre-order with a lead time of 30 days. Great, so let's click continue. And we can just go over that, make sure we're happy with it all. That all looks good. And before testing, I just want to double check that we haven't already got this cargo bike for pre-order. No, we don't. And then if we double check the storefront, we can see it's a regular buy now. So I'm just going to click test step, which should trigger this request. Cool, we get a green OK. So now if I go back into pre-product, you can see there we go. It's a cargo bike. There's our 30 days. Just expand that a little bit. We can see we're using a charge later. Nice. We can see if we refresh this, that should show pre-order now. Yep, shipping 30 days. Great. Pre-order that. And also, if we refresh this, we should see that pre-products are all added that tag of pre-order. So next time this automation runs, it will get stopped here because it will say, it already contains tags of pre-order. Let's stop. So I can click publish now, and this flow will just work in the background on my Shopify store, looking for whatever product has less than 100 units of stock, and then it will put it on pre-order. Now, that's a very specific example, but I hope I've shown you through this filter conditions block that you can actually get really sophisticated here, and you can have lots of requirements. You can have multiple different flows. So this one's a charge later pre-order, but maybe you want some on deposit, maybe you want them on varying amounts. Using Zapier means you can kind of tap into Shopify, use pre-products API, and really kind of get as complicated as you want to. Now with automations in general, I always kind of think lighter hands best, as they can get a little bit confusing to think about. But hopefully this video will be useful for those cases where regular pre-product automation or Shopify flow automations don't cut the mustard. Cool, thanks.